I was born in Jordan, in the Middle East, and the main reason I came here is for school. That was the intent, going for graduate school. Did know a lot of English. I could write a thesis, but I couldn't talk because we studied that. That's English as a second language. So grammar. You're good at writing. Anything Shakespeare. We had some things that we had to read, study, and analyze, but you couldn't talk. It wasn't one thing that we practiced. So the first thing you got here, you thought you knew a lot of English until you start talking like that. I can't say what I want. You get so frustrated, and of course people here are very patient, right? Whenever you go say things with maybe a little bit of heavy accent, they lost you. I don't want to deal with you. Let me get somebody else I can understand. That's probably the consensus. So you try to go, okay, what do I do? How do I fit in? And yes, you do work hard and learn the language. So I learned spoken here, how to talk in this country. I had a brother of mine came in for schooling as well, and he ended up married and staying here. He's the one that brought me in for graduate school, and he's been here a long time. But then he moved down to southern Utah, and I was on my own from that point on. So within 2 or 3 years, I was on my own. After 25 years, I think I could do that.
Is that your only family here?
Yes, that's my only family in the States. Everybody else is back in Jordan still.
Do you try to visit them regularly?
Whenever I can put $10,000 aside.
That's quite a bit.
That's a lot of money. So whenever I can, definitely I'd go visit. And I took the family a couple of times. They enjoyed that. They loved it, and they want to go there, but it's just a matter of saving money. Now I make about 55 in this company, but also I teach at BSU, so that adds another 4,000 or 5,000. So
what do you teach at BSU?
I teach Arabic first and second year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into that?
How did I get into it? At the University of Utah, they needed help at the Middle East Center, so I was helping all the professors over there as I was working with them. I was helping them prep material and grade papers and do all that stuff. So I acquired that, and that's something I've always enjoyed. I've always wanted to teach, and so I just kind of fall into that. So I have a good 18 years of experience of teaching Arabic to non-Arabic speakers. So they needed someone at BSU. They didn't have anyone, and I went and applied. And got in, and I just do that for fun, though. The reason I do it actually is to make sure that Arabic and Islam is spread here the correct way by a moderate person, not some fanatics that are going to come in and demand things or show things. I want to make sure I show it in the correct light. Coming from the Middle East, from a society where it's not closed but it's reserved, to come here where anything and everything can happen. It's just a choice. It's a cultural shock, obviously, and you get in, you start looking at things and like, wow, they do this here, and it takes a while to get used to it. And you see different people go in different ways. You see others, some kind of stick with their own kind, and they don't learn the language, don't learn the culture. They stick and talk to each other, and those are the ones that 20, 30 years from now, they're still in their own clique. They don't blend in. They don't benefit from it. I chose the opposite of keeping what I like about my religion and my culture, and then also understanding this culture that I'm going to be living in and the people. And so I was got indoctrinated by my wife. She said, you have to watch all the classic movies. You have to deal with all these things just so you'll know when people talk about it. Here's you can relate to it. And it did me a lot of good. Of course, it's easier for me to navigate, to work with people, to understand. It did make a huge difference. As far as discrimination, that depends on how you look at things. I'm positive in nature. I don't look at everything that happens to me as it's a conspiracy. It's because I'm an Arab, because I'm a Muslim. There are many things that can be interpreted that way. Do I really consider it that way? Maybe. Sometimes it's irritating, having to not be able to get my boarding pass online just like everybody else. I have to go to the counter, and they look at my name and they go, oh yeah, let's look at your name in the system. 3 minutes after that, they'll say, okay, you're fine, go. That's inconvenient. Is it discrimination? I'm not sure if I call it that way. Being on an airplane that is fully booked, but the seat next to me is not full yet until the absolute last, passenger, then chances are that person that came sat next to me wasn't just anyone. It was either the marshal or somebody else, and you could tell from the way they act. Is that really discrimination? Do I care? No. Do I understand why sometimes these happen? Yes. People of my last name or my color or my origin did some things, and we're watching. So am I negative about these things? No. But I think they do happen. I just try to look at the positive side of it. They're protecting me as well.